What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Spooky Story Time. Y'all, I've been around the world, and I'm not trying to brag. I travel a lot due to my job as a musician, music director. One of the craziest countries I visited that really left an imprint in me, but all the spooky stuff that I heard and happened to me, that was the country of Peru. Look, y'all, I don't know what they're doing in Peru, but Peru has some scary, spooky happenings. I was left with my mouth open. I experienced some scary stuff, and I kind of want to talk about something that it's something that since I was a kid, you can say always puzzled me and always kind of grabbed my curiosity, and that is truck driving, truck drivers. Truck drivers see a lot of crazy stuff wherever they go. I've heard stories of truck drivers running into UFOs, Bigfoot, chupacabras, running into demons and empty roads where there is like a lady in white trying to chase down the car and scare them, haunt them. They see a lot of crazy stuff. Now, is it them hallucinating because they're extremely tired? Or is it an actual paranormal, spooky, supernatural ghost, demon, cryptid that's trying to chase them down? I don't know. We could do some research about this, but I want to talk about one of the most interesting, scariest stories I've heard when it comes to truck drivers in Peru. Now, before I begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, tell everybody about this YouTube channel, and let's get going with this spooky episode. And go grab some coffee and some snacks. Now, Peru, beautiful land, scary AF. Late at night, the roads are dark, empty, and it looks like you're in the middle of a ghost story. When I was there, I met this guy by the name of Yawar, and he was one of the coolest dudes there. He was one of the ushers from the church that I was attending this worship night that we're doing. And knowing me, I went up to him and I was like, Yahweh, tell me something scary. And he told me one of the most interesting, spookiest ghost stories he've ever said, or I ever heard, actually. He said one night he was driving this big semi truck. He had to go from point A to point B. I think he was going from Cusco, Peru to Lima, Peru. Lima's the capital. Cusco is a couple of hours away. It was a drive. And he says to get to Cusco to Peru, you have to Lima, you have to go through thick, dark forest / jungle, rainforest, isolated roads. And he said one night he was driving. He had his pickup, his semi truck. He was driving. A couple hours in his drive, he would notice that there is a figure standing far right. And he was like, oh, it's probably a statue. It's probably something except a human. As he was getting closer, he noticed it was a young lady just standing there. Did not notice the face, did not notice anything, just the silhouette of a young woman. He drives by it and he tells me, Leo, I'm gonna tell you this, no matter what happens, never stop for hitchhikers when you're driving in the middle of the jungle, especially in Peru. And I'm like, okay. He said that he passed this hitchhiker, or this silhouette of a woman, and drives forward. He said it was raining. He felt kind of bad, but he's like, I'm not gonna let anybody get in this car, especially if they look like a ghost. And I'm like a ghost? He's like, yeah, like a ghost. I'm like, okay. He said he was driving a couple of more miles ahead, and then he sees the same silhouette in front of him again. Drives by it. He said that he passed this silhouette at least 4 to 5 times until he started to feel a very deep tiredness where he's like, I need to stop and rest. He said he got scared, so he didn't want to rest in his semi truck. So he looked for like a motel, middle of the jungle hotel, which he says they exist, but they're very distant, very rare to find. But he ran into one. He says that he parks his semi truck, grabs all his stuff, gets down, walks into the motel, knocks on the front desk, and there's this person that walks up. And he's like, can I help you? He's like, yes, I want to get a room for tonight. And the man says, okay, did you see anybody as you were driving over here? And Yahweh was like, yeah, no, maybe. And he's like, was it a young girl? A silhouette of a young girl? And he's like, yes, why? And he said the guy just smirked and said, hey man, just lock your doors, all right? Yahweh was like, okay. Yahweh grabs the keys, goes to his motel room, opens the door, puts everything on his bed, and knocks out, he says. In the middle of the night, he said he started to feel a very cold presence. He said he got up, he opened his eyes, and he's like, something's in my room. But out of fear, he didn't want to go investigate. So what he did, he just got under his covers and just tried to go back to sleep. He said that a couple hours later, he was awakened by something or someone sitting at the edge of his bed. He gets up and he's like, something is in my room. But he didn't want to pay attention. He was too scared. He was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna go back to sleep. The next morning, he wakes up. Room is still freezing, he said. And he's like, you know what? It's a cold morning. He gets all his stuff, brushes his teeth, showers, whatever, gets ready, goes to the front desk. It's the same gentleman there waiting for him. As he approaches the front desk, he drops the keys on his desk and he says, "Thank you very much. I'll see you later." The man says, "The girl visited you, huh?" Yahweh turns around and says, "How do you know?" The man says, "Because I saw her walking through the hallways into your room." Yahweh looked at him and was like, "You're kidding me." And the man says, "Yes. Drive safely." After Yahweh told me this story, I couldn't sleep that night. Because if there's one thing that scares me, is there being a person or a being or a silhouette of a something in my room trying to keep me from sleeping. I don't know if this story is true, but for sure as hell, it scared the hell out of me. If you have any semi-truck story or dark road story, let me know. Put it in the comment section down below. But with this being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, and tell your friends about the spooky channel. I'll see you guys in another episode. Bye!